Finally, I hounded everybody. You finally had to send everybody Amazon links.
Bugged us to buy new microphones.
Yes,
I'm telling you, he bugged us. Yes. And
our guest is live. So for Friday, what we're going to do, we're going to kind of talk about some of the announcements about the 50th, like the the kite show and all that stuff, and the statues and all that good stuff. But also kind of the main topic is going to be, where do you find uncommon patriotic stuff at Walt Disney World? So we're not going to say like a Hall of Presidents or Liberty.
Right.
That's played out. Here's mine. What Pop Century, and I know stuff at Pop Century is not necessarily American. Like, I don't even know if the Rubik's Cube was made in the United States. Probably wasn't. But when I think of like My America, dude, it's Pop Century.
Pop Century. I get that.
You know what I'm saying? That is all American. You know, the Apple computer and the Shadow Box.
Yes.
Pac-Man. I know Pac-Man's that's not American either, but it is to me.
Okay, I like this. The unusual, uncommon.
Find American nostalgia, but not the normal places.
I gotcha.
What's good. Lonnie? I haven't seen Lonnie in ages. Hey, Lonnie. We got to start running some races so I can see my friends.
Jeff, yes, I have been on the Velocicoaster and it was amazing. So super, super awesome.
He's been on.
Yeah, I know. That's why I think he's asking. So yeah, I went on actually before a lot of other people did. And it was just an amazing experience. So and I'm gonna go down in July, so I'm gonna get to experience it again. So
I did Velocicoaster, but I fell asleep. Like,
you did not do the Velocicoaster. Stop! It's not boring. That roll over the water is not boring.
I was asleep by then. They told me about it when I got back in the station. Like, do you see that thing over the water? I was like, I was already asleep. Sorry. Yeah,
you're such a liar.
I'm telling you, dude. I did the Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City, and I think it was nuts. I'm not getting back on that sucker for nothing. I'm too old for that. As soon as I went out of the station, I'm like, I am too old for this crap. I am not riding these kind of rides again. Like, Space Mountain's no limit right now. I am. I can't do that stuff. It just messes me. Dude, it spins and it drops you down like 80 feet straight down.
Yeah, that sounds amazing to me.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Not gonna lie, that sounds really amazing. So
26 athletes in the Olympics. That's amazing. I think we have about 5 so far from Mizzou, but Chris is our best hope at a medal, I think. Chris Schweitzer in the 10K. Oh, Scott, I don't know. I played Lake Buena Vista, almost killed me, and I'm going to play the Magnolia in less than 2 weeks. That'll probably kill me too.
Right.
We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, no, I could do it. I know, but I'm just smarter than that. I don't want to do it anymore. Seriously, I'd rather just eat a churro. I know they're giving out free churros that day. I'd rather have the churro. I don't want to ride the ride.
They were giving out churros, so yeah. But brilliant, by the way, brilliant on their behalf.
Little bitty baby parks can give out churros.
Oh my God. Little bitty baby parks. And you know how many churros they gave out that day?
I know, 72.
No, they gave out way more than 72 churros. So
73.
I hate you.
Oh, he's playing Scott's playing the Magnolia July 5th. We're playing it July 11th.
That's awesome.
6:30. We're at 7:03. Shotgun start. No, not
in the morning. Yikes.
Space Mountain is rough. That's what I'm saying. I understand. I can ride a rough roller coaster, but that's my limit at this point. All right, let's get
I'm all in on the velocity.
Let's get this.
Okay.
We need questions for Wednesday, so we have you put them in the chat. Besides the Fricky's Ridden Rides.
Also, besides if Space 220 is opening.
Yep, and about people's moms. And let's see. Hello to everybody.
I think I missed. Oh, Jeff says his mom can do it. You can.
Well, his mom's tougher than me, so we can.
Right, exactly. Well, most people are tougher than you.
All right. No, I'm pretty tough. I hide it behind my sensitive side. I should probably do this. Hang on real quick. I'm going to tweet out that we're live.
That's a good idea. You know what? It's been a while since I've done that for us.
LESTENER. There you go. Questions on Facebook and YouTube. Come on over and join in on the fun. Now we got to have fun because I said we're going to.
Oh no, we have to have fun.
Our guest podcast. Okay, let me throw down some sweet hashtags. Here we go. Hashtag Disney. Ooh, if I could spell Disney right.
Please do.
WDW, hashtag Walt Disney World, hashtag BOGP, hashtag WDW50, hashtag Disney World 50, hashtag travel, hashtag podcast, hashtag podcasting, Hashtag Magic Kingdom.
You ready, baby?
Let's
get
hashtag Epcot.
You ready? Go get it.
Hashtag golf.
Golf.
Good enough. I ran out of juice there.
Yeah, you think?
Golf.
Okay. Well, let me know when you're done, and I will. Oh, okay. You posted it.
Oh yeah, we just found out that the Polynesians open on July 19th.
We did. Podcast hashtags. Yes, Jeff.
Hashtag podcast hashtags.
Stop
Hashtag
speaking.
July 19th. Hashtag I learned what Porta Cochere means a few years ago. I know what a Porta Cochere is. It's just a big. It's called the it's like the cover at the front of the hotel.
Yes.
It's like the drop off. Okay, here we go. Questions. Here's one. Kevin's got one. All right. Is your dog gonna squeak that thing? I'm waiting. Okay, don't squeak that thing because I don't want to have to edit.
I know. I'll try to have her not, but she really likes this baby.
And I hide all the squeaky toys down here when Riley's here. Okay. Too bad, dog. I don't want to have to edit. I'm hungry. Hey, what's up, Rhonda? Roll Tide. Here we go. Welcome to episode 1924 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior and most patriotic agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hang in there. We have a 3-day weekend. We have an awesome weekend. Especially if you're from the Midwest, like Mike in the Midwest, little plug for a little podcast we do on Thursdays for the patrons. We shoot off fireworks at our new place. It is legal. One of the only places around that it is, and it is crazy. And I feel so patriotic as all the neighbors just, we just all cross our fingers that we don't burn each other's houses down with Roman candles. It's makes you proud to be an American. I just could see Lee Greenwood popping out of somebody's garage and, doing a spontaneous concert at any point. So hang in there. We got the 4th of July coming up here in the States this weekend. But before we do that, we have to get to your listener questions. So joining me today from the mouseforless.com, we have Ricky, Georgia, patriotic part of the country, correct?
It is. Yes. I mean, it was one of the first 13 colonies. So, that's about the only thing I learned about Georgia since moving here.
Which number of the 13 was it?
I
don't know either.
Don't ask me those questions, Mike. I have no idea. So, yeah. It was one of the first. So, hey. That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a very patriotic long state if you're driving 75 from Chattanooga down to Florida. I mean, it feels like you're never going to get out of the state of Georgia.
It's true. It's like 4.5 hours, I guess, probably. Yeah.
Lots of state troopers on that road, too.
Oh, goodness, yes. Yeah, they are ready to pull you over especially like in the southern part of Georgia. Yeah, they're ready to go. So don't speed in Georgia. Let me tell you that right now. Do not speed. I may or may not have gotten pulled over before.
Yes. I think everybody has. I mean, it's like, it's your first souvenir going to Walt Disney World.
Exactly.
I mean, just like Walt Disney World, it's a super expensive souvenir.
It's a really expensive souvenir. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So before we hop in, we got breaking news as we're recording this show. Of course, we record the podcast on Monday afternoons, usually around 5:45 Eastern. So where are you?
On Wednesdays?
I know we do sometimes, but usually we don't.
No.
But join us on Facebook or YouTube next Monday. I know it's a holiday, but hey, we work on the holidays for you. And plus, because I'm going to Walt Disney World the next day, so we got to record because I got to get them in. But breaking news, we record this podcast. We have a date for the reopening of Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, July 19th. So What is that? That's like less than 3 weeks away.
I know. It's kind of crazy. I mean, they've been talking about the fact that it would be reopening in like the end of July. And I guess the 19th is considered closer to the end than the beginning. So they weren't wrong. So it's going to be reopening. Most of the resort will be reopening. Let's put it that way. So you're going to have the rooms are reopening. You're going to have a good portion of the lobby reopening with the front desk. A couple of things are not reopening, namely like the monorail. They're still working on the monorail. So that will not be available for guests, as well as like the main front entrance, where you go under where the monorail sits, because they're working on the monorail. You can't walk through a construction zone, so you do have to go in on the side of the building, which is not that big of a deal.
You can walk through the construction zone, but you have to get a job first and a hard hat.
So. Right, exactly, yes. So but it's exciting that the Poly is reopening, and I think they're reopening with the Moana themed rooms too, which is kind of cool. So Yeah.
Okay, so we had this talk. I don't know if I had this talk with you. I've had this talk with everybody that listen. I think I've talked to the wall here in my office. I know
Probably.
I've talked to Orange Bird because she hears all my problems. Like when I have a long hold, it's just Orange Bird and I. I mean, we sit here and she always just has
You
that
two are
look.
tight.
Well, because she gives me this look with these eyes, right? I mean, who can say no to those eyes? She's like,
I
oh,
know.
Mike, I feel your pain. So, we just found out last week about the Incredibles rooms over at the
Yes.
Contemporary. We got the Moana rooms at the Polynesian. Can we not just have like one building with these rooms, do the Riverside model? Like they have the royal guest rooms at Riverside, but then you have kind of normal rooms in the mansions. Then you have the kind of normal rooms in Alligator Bayou. It gives you choice. I don't know. I just don't like I don't like all or nothing. I know Disney, it's Disney and that's IP, but I mean, give us some regular, real contemporary stuff, some Incredibles contemporary stuff, some Polynesian themed stuff without IP, some, Moana if you have kids or if you're just a Moana fan. What do you think about all that?
Yeah, I get why they're doing it for all of them. It's, relatively cheaper, obviously, to do it for all of them than, half of them or whatever. I do think for the guest experience, it would be better to let guests choose whether they wanted a, plain Polynesian room or a Moana themed Polynesian room, or if they wanted a plain contemporary room or a Incredibles themed contemporary room. Because that's kind of one of the big things that I saw a lot of people mentioning. They're like, I don't want to stay at the Contemporary anymore because I don't like the theme of the Incredibles. So I think that they're losing a little bit with that, the fact that they did not just do like half of the hotel or whatever. I don't think it would have been too hard to have done it that way, but it does seem like they're going all in.
At the Contemporary, you could do like floors 5 and 6.
Exactly.
I mean, just like certain floors are incredible rooms, certain floors aren't. Justin in our live chat's mentioning probably the Garden Wing will be plain rooms. Probably because they kept those. I don't know if they're going to maybe once they get the tower back open.
They said
the Garden Wing.
They said they are going to work on the Garden Wing after that. So yeah, the whole resort is gonna be Incredibles. Yeah. So
yeah, so I like choice, and I don't mind the IP. I just don't like the all or nothing either way. I think Riverside does it right because we always stay at a royal guest room. I'm saying this unless I've stayed at Alligator Bayou a couple times because I just like the vibe over there. It's really rustic,
right?
But the royal guest rooms they're fun because they have an ad. Like I love the fireworks and the headboard. I know I'm a fool, right? I pay extra for that, but they're also in a good spot in the resort, so it's almost like buying a preferred room anyway. So it's a value add for me.
And you have at the, at Caribbean Beach, you have the pirate themed rooms as well. So, I mean, they've done like partial rooms before. And so I guess I don't understand why they just decided not to do partial rooms, with this, but I mean, whatever, it's kind of the route they went. So, Yeah.
So if your dog gets in front of you, gotta come because you got the new mic.
Yeah, I figured that out. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, and Jeff's mentioning, all the white. I think that was just kind of the move over the last 5 years. Pop Century went very white compared to the, all crazy colors all over the bedspreads and stuff. And then, we don't have bedspreads anymore or whatever they were called, comforters. I don't know what you call them in your part of the country, but anyhow, let's get to the questions of the day. It's just something, we have to clear our minds the first part of the show every day. And so hopefully you're clearing your mind either on the treadmill, running out the hot heat and humidity. You're tougher than me, cutting the grass. Whew, hang in there. We're having fun. All right. Kevin's got a question here in the live chat. He says, this is Kevin from the Disney Dads Married to Doctors Facebook group. Did you know that there is a Disney Dads Married to Doctors Facebook group? This has to be in the next commercial for Facebook, right? They have the like deaf basketball players, which I think is awesome.
Yes.
They need Disney Dads Married to Doctors. Like
yeah, I didn't know this existed, but this is amazing. Awesome. Yeah.
We did a trip report actually back in October. Anyway, he says, so we have a group of 19 parents, grandparents, kids, friends, ranging in ages from 2 to 75 going in February. We are all staying at the Contemporary. Speaking of, most of us have 6-day park hopper passes. Any tips for a large group like this? Would you make more than one Magic Kingdom day reservation, knowing that you would likely hop to the Magic Kingdom more than once after chilling at the hotel or pool midday? Best dining for a large group as a welcome on Saturday, 2/26. Appreciate any insight or advice you and the incredible listeners may have. Best, Kevin. Okay, so a group of 19, 2 to 75. I mean, that's This is where you're going to really, I mean, I know you're going to, the welcome dinner, all 19 together.
Yes, that's a great idea.
That's what I'd be together. And I would schedule a couple more meals where you guys can get together. But I think it's going to be a challenge to keep everybody together for most of the trip. You know, it's going to be more like subgroups, I would guess, except for some meals. Maybe pool time would be a great time for everybody to get together back at the Contemporary. The first more than one day at the Magic Kingdom, because he's thinking the right way though, because if you're staying at the Contemporary and you're going to hop any day, you can go to the Magic Kingdom without a theme park reservation. So I would probably just do one, because you're probably going to end up there probably in the evenings 2 or 3 other times maybe.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad strategy to just do the one day and then hop, because chances are you'll be able to. So I think that's a really, really, really good strategy. Now, how many days did they say they were going to be there though?
It doesn't say.
Oh, okay.
Well, they have 6-day hoppers, so they're going to go.
Oh, so 6 days. Okay, all right. So I mean, I guess it depends on if they're probably going to do Hollywood Studios at least 2 days, I would assume, and probably do Epcot another 2, or maybe they might do 1. I don't know. And then they have Animal Kingdom that they can do. So I'm not sure. They all didn't say how young the little ones were either. So.
Well, they're from 2 to 75, so yeah, you got all kinds of stuff going on.
Right. So I might make 2 days for the Magic Kingdom. That's just me.
You could. I mean, you could.
Yeah, but
because you're right, you're probably going to hop there, because what you're going to do, like you're going to do Animal Kingdom in the morning, swim, and then just like, let's go over let's go to Magic Kingdom. We can walk. Yeah, right. I like his thinking. 2 max, but you could probably get away with 1 if you're really into the other parks.
Right.
Because you're going to probably be there 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
What about dining for a large group? So here's mine. And again, the Contemporary really doesn't have options, I think, for a large group. I'm not a big fan of Chef Mickey's, basically for the cost. That place.
Yes.
I mean, I know all Disney dining is expensive, but that last time I ate there, and Mallory wasn't that old. Like they gave me the check and I almost had a heart attack. And I've only had, it's only happened to me a few times at Walt Disney World, and that was one of them.
Yes.
I would do Wilderness Lodge over at Whispering Canyon.
Ooh, good choice.
Because they can make those big long tables, and it's just a fun place, and it's relatively close. Take a boat across the Bay Lake there, and you're there. That'd be fun.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea, because Wilderness Whispering Canyon is well known for the hijinks. Of course, they've kind of been played down a little bit with due to COVID and stuff like that. You're not yelling for ketchup anymore, but I still think that Whispering Canyon is such a fun experience for families. So yes, I think that that's a really, really, really good choice. As far as maybe something in the parks, something like a tapanito might be fun, because you all get to sit at at the gigantic table. I think and watch the hibachi go. So that might be a fun kind of experience to be able to do with the whole family. So that's going to be one I'm going to throw in.
All right, let's hit some questions from the live chat. Jeff's asking about rumors of Casey's opening on June 30th. So as we record this, that would be 2 days from today, or the day this releases. Gotta hope so.
Yeah, Mike's like, please say yes.
I'd be like Casey's.
I mean, indications, seem to point towards Casey's opening sooner rather than later. So I would say maybe it looks quite possible. Although I did think when I was there a few months back that the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor was going to be reopening, because they had the lights on and they looked like they were doing some stuff inside to get it ready. And then nothing. So, but of course, this was a few months ago, and things were definitely different as far as Disney and COVID were concerned. So, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, hopefully Casey's is open today. As of this, recording is not, but hopefully it's open on the 30th.
Jeff also says possibly a Harmony Barbershop. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, these things all. I got another question today, and I don't know if it was for the show, but it was a question from one of my guests about character dining and also meet and greets with characters. And they laid out a very compelling argument that we're at this point now where physical distancing isn't such a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, the interaction between a guest and a character, I'm talking not a face character. I'm talking like like the other character, like Mickey Mouse, or like a Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. I mean, think about the character, right? There's low transmission possibilities, I would think, due to the environment that the character's in and the guest is in. So I'm wondering if maybe the furry characters could come back sooner rather than later. Face characters might take a little bit longer because again, possibility of exposure. I mean, it's an intimate kind of meeting, right?
Yeah.
But the fur characters, I mean, they laid out a great, reasoning, like, hey, I mean, it's like a mask. So,
well, and I would assume that they would have, once they bring back characters, they would make it so that probably those performer would be, or those characters would be vaccinated. So I'm sure that that would be the case, so they make sure that that was probably something that happened. But it's still so iffy, because of everything. So I still think that we may be a while off from characters coming back officially. But hey, who knows? We've spoken things into existence before, fireworks. So
I'm seeing some fireworks. Yes.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Yeah, I mean, we may very well see characters, Mickey may be back sooner rather than later. And I hope, I know that there's another question in the chat about, character meals returning with Tusker House and Ohana being two Tom's favorites. And, they do have characters at Tusker House and not at Ohana. Ohana will not have characters for breakfast, but Tusker House does.
We'll have a ukulele player, though.
They will have during dinner.
Yeah, right.
Breakfast.
Yeah, I'm not talking breakfast. Yeah, dinner.
Yeah,
uke player. Yeah.
So, there are characters at Tusker House. It's just not going to be, where you get to hug Mickey. You're going to have to do the socially distanced, selfies and stuff like that. But you can see characters at select character meals. Tusker House is one of them. Chef Mickey's is another. Garden Grill is another. And Hollywood and Vine, yes, and then Topolino's. I think those are all of them right now. So,
and I will be dining with Mickey over at Tusker House next week.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have a reservation for Tusker House in a couple weeks. It's actually my first time at Tusker House, so I'm kind of excited to try it.
It's a cool place. I've been there a couple times. The food's really good. I mean, I don't know. It's
a new menu now, so that's kind of why I wanted to try it, because it sounded interesting.
The menu actually looks good. I mean, it's modified menus like my jam. So but I'll eat anything, so I don't care. Yes. Okay, so Jeff's got a good question. I didn't even think about this. You guys are bringing up some good points here, and hopefully you're going to have these conversations. I know how the podcast goes. When I'm out running, I listen to all these podcasts, and then my whole family has to hear about them, like when we ride to dinner that night. I'm like, so what? These guys were talking about this on the show this morning I was listening to. So what are your thoughts? So hopefully you spring this on your family, like you came up with this idea. But it was actually Jeff in our live chat. He says, do you think Hollywood Studios is going to have anything announced for the 50th? They're the only park, and it kind of feels like they're left out. And I get it. I mean, Animal Kingdom is, they're not really getting as much love as, an Epcot and a Magic Kingdom for sure.
Okay, so I don't know if if anybody follows me on Facebook, you'll see I posted the meme from Mean Girls, and it was and none for you Hollywood Studios was basically with
all the love for the last 5 years. So I think that's like, it's like, dude, you've been to the beauty shop. You know what? Yes. Let everybody else get a haircut at this point.
I think that's kind of the thinking, is that Hollywood Studios has definitely seen its fair share of updates. With Galaxy's Edge and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and all of that. So I feel like Disney's like, well, we've given you a lot at Hollywood Studios. So now, trust me, I don't think Hollywood Studios will be left out of the 50th celebrations. I just don't think that what they will offer will be super grand, if that makes sense. Like, it may be an update to a show, or something like that.
Give me like a Star Wars fireworks back, and I'll be
or even that. Yeah. So I mean, like, you may see, I've heard rumors about maybe an update to Fantasmic.
I've heard that, and I love Fantasmic.
So I mean, I could see that being something that they do for the 50th. Especially since it seems like a lot of the 50th celebration hoopla is surrounding around these type of shows. You have the fireworks, and then the kite thing happening at Animal Kingdom. So it does seem to focus a lot on shows. And I think that they're, if it is Fantasmic, they're probably waiting until they get closer to make sure that, they can perform it, that everything is right and stuff like that. So, we'll see. A lot has changed over the past few weeks. I mean, if you would have told me that we were getting fireworks back, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I would have laughed and said, no way, but look where we are. We're getting fireworks. So, Fantasmic could be coming back, and it could be an updated show, which, trust me, I think it needs. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think that show could use an update. So that would be a great
good though. Yeah, I mean, there's some of the animation maybe in the animation part with the water screens. It's kind of old, but
Yeah, that would be a great tie-in, though.
Every time I see that show, that makes me think of a certain podcast. It's weird. I don't know.
I don't know which one it is.
I know. So strange.
Doesn't ring a bell. No.
I know. Me neither.
No.
Okay, so we have some more questions here. And the next question was from Alfred. He said, I heard that the WHO said they recommend all wearing masks due to the Delta variant. Will Disney go back to making guests wear them again? I would say probably not unless things get really bad, because I think, once that ship has sailed, it's going to be really hard to get people to put them back on.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be extremely hard to get people to put them back on. So I think, everything is going to go forward with trying to get people to get the vaccine.
Right.
And pushing that. And I don't, unless things, like you said, Mike, unless things get super bad again, I think that, most places are not going to ask you to wear masks again.
Absolutely. All right. Rhonda Long, my good buddy down in Alabama, Roll Tide. She says, hey, guys, we're going in September for my birthday. Happy birthday to you already. But I just heard a rumor annual passes are coming back in August, which would really help us out. Should we go ahead and get our tickets or wait on the AP Roll Tide? Don't wait.
Don't wait on the tickets.
Here's the thing. I don't know. I've heard this rumor for like 3 months now, and nothing's happening with it. I mean, I would tell you if I knew. I would at least say I have heard that this could happen. And I've heard the same stuff you've heard, nothing more, nothing less. And I talk to Disney I talk to Disney more than my wife some days. So I'm just talking. I had a long conversation with Mavis today. So anyway, she fell out of her chair while she was booking one of my things. I thought I had to call 911. I'm like, I don't know who I would. I don't know where you live.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Where do I call? Yeah.
A trip. And all of a sudden I hear, and like, I'm like, Mavis, are you there? She's like, I'm so embarrassed. I just leaned back in my chair and I fell. My headset went flying. I'm like, did you hit confirm on that reservation? I was like, well, there's that room. Okay. Now are you okay? Okay, good.
Oh,
okay.
that's too funny.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
But that's true. True story. That's the life of a travel agent. But now we don't know exactly how things are going to go, but it would make sense that if the annual pass sales begin at any point, they would give you the value of Magic Your Way tickets toward upgrading to an annual pass anyway. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. They've always done it. And, they're going to get you for more money. So I don't know. It'd be to their advantage.
Yes.
I would say buy the Magic Your Way tickets now, make your theme park reservations immediately.
Yes.
Cross your fingers and hope for, pray to Nick Saban that you'll get, annual passes.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold off, and wait for the annual passes to come out, because you never know. Like you said, we've been waiting for months for them to release annual passes and nothing. So buy some sort of ticket now. Get your park pass reservations. That's actually the key, really, to be perfectly honest. Buy tickets so you can make your park pass reservations, because you do not want to be sold out of being able to make your reservations. And then you can upgrade if they offer the annual pass moving forward.
I will say though, on theme park reservations, I would normally say things are getting really, really tight, but Disney is obviously upping the capacity of all the parks, because if you look at July, there's a lot of availability right now, and that's just right around the corner. Now it's going to get as close, when you start getting close to the 50th, it's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter as they start to market this more and put more commercials out there.
Yes.
Because it was like, everybody huddle in, it's listening to our show. It's all huddled together, right? We're the only ones that knew October 1st meant anything. Like a year ago. Guess what? The whole world's going to know October 1st is pretty cool very soon. So I'm just saying, like, all
the commercials are already running here.
Oh yeah, they've been running for a while, but I think they're going to do even more. Like, it's going to amp up as we go on, because that first commercial that they're still showing, it's okay. It's little pixie dust on the Tree of Life. The castle, Spaceship Earth. But I mean, I think they're going to, progressively get us like pumped and start showing, because now they can show fireworks, right? Because they've announced, it's going to get better. And then the folks that are not necessarily the crazy Disney nerds like all of us are going to jump on. It's going to be hard to get those reservations in October and moving on.
I mean, October 1st is already, you know how often it keeps getting sold out, so I mean, the month of October, I mean, if you're going, you probably should get park pass reservations. So just a heads up.
Never hurts. Okay, go back to the inbox, because I got this email 3 days ago, and the title of it was, I stranded my best friend in the Magic Kingdom for a good cause. I was like, okay.
Hey, well.
My inbox is always excited.
I leave you a lot, Mike, in the Magic Kingdom. I'm like, peace out. See you later.
That's right. He said, this is Matthew. He's up in Webster, New York. He says, today's show about ice cream. So this was last Friday.
Yes.
Besides making me crave it at 8 a.m., Made me think of the guys trip I took that you helped me plan in December of 2015. My best friend was supposed to fly in with us, but when your boss's boss personally invites you to her famous Christmas party, he ended up having to fly in 30 hours later. American Airlines was not having a good day, lost his luggage. His Magical Express bus was loud and nuts. He missed the Magic Kingdom bus as he walked up. And when he called, he said that he was finally on the way to the park, but he was super grumpy.
Uh-oh.
We were all riding Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and we're on our way to the hub. But the Mad Hatter and Alice came out and there was no line. So I texted him that we would be there when could he meet us at the end of Main Street USA on the right side of the bill. Sorry, he said you could meet us on Main Street USA at the end of the street on the right side where the buildings end. Where could that be? I bet my other friend a churro that when we walked up, he'd be eating an ice cream cone. He wasn't, but when he asked, he said that he had just finished one and he was in a much better mood. Crisis averted. So that just shows you. I mean, in St. Louis, in Webster, New York, or Main Street, USA, you can have your luggage lost by American Airlines. You can have your trip delayed by 30 hours. You can walk up and miss your bus at the Magic Kingdom. If you get ice cream, it's all good.
Life is good. Yep. It's good. It's good.
It's like that crazy story. And he won a churro. So there you go.
There you go.
Okay. Let's see here. So Justin has a question. What snack cart's closest to Spaceship Earth with all the construction? We're doing 4 parks in one day. The rules are 1 attraction, 1 snack, and 1 picture in each park. We're thinking it's easiest to hit Spaceship Earth. Well, it would be, yeah. Because I mean, it's going through Future Worlds. It's like
oh gosh,
it's Algernon. You're like a mouse in a maze or something.
Absolutely, yeah. So the quickest snack cart, is that what we're needing?
Yeah, and I would say like as of today, and would that be like maybe a snack cart by Test Track? I'm trying to think. Is there something?
There's actually along the pathway. So if you go towards where Universe of Energy was, that side, there's I don't know if this counts. I hope it does, but there's a Joffrey's coffee stand that's right there as you kind of come to the main entrance area of that section of the park. And they have obviously donuts and stuff like that. I mean, Joffrey's is famous for their gigantic donuts.
I'm throwing up something here though. It's a 4-day challenge. I'm not throwing. I'm throwing a caveat down here.
Okay.
I'm doing a 4 parks in 1 day challenge, and I don't think I'm throwing up. I hope not. But you cannot use Joffrey's. That's too general.
Okay.
It's something you can only get at Epcot.
So hang on. If you keep going, and you don't have to go terribly far, but right now they do have, it is obviously the Flower and Garden Festival, and you're going to have food and wine here soon anyway, so it'll be kicking in July. But they have a stand right now. It's serving Flower and Garden Festival snacks. So that's right there too, right in front of Test Track. So that I think is going to be like your closest option as far as snacks are concerned. If you go on the other side, I mean, again, we kind of were talking about, it feels like it's a little bit further down, but they do have another cart that's in between, it's in between Imagination and the Land. And it does sell things like Mickey pretzels and stuff like that. And then there's a popcorn cart that's across.
Popcorn is like crack. But
I don't think actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think the last time I was there, the crack popcorn was not available. And I don't think it was open.
You're right. Because I was going the flight home and it wasn't.
Yes, which makes me very sad. And I hope they bring back the crack popcorn because they're so good.
For
those who don't know,
sour cream and like chives popcorn.
Yes.
I got the bucket, the little Skyliner bucket. And of course I carried it on the plane to set on the tray. I was like, I'm just carrying it. I'm going to take it home so Pam and Mallory and everybody can eat when they get home.
Yes.
Sure. Dude, 2 hours of that stuff sitting in front of you on an airplane, you're done.
You're done.
Oh, my stomach was hurting by the time we landed.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, the crack popcorn, by the way, is a special flavor. They have 3 special flavors. One is the sour cream and onion, right? And then the other is cheddar, and then the third one is a buffalo blue cheese. I wish they had it again. Now, if you go further, for those who are looking for more specialty popcorns, you just throwing this in, you have to go to the Canada Pavilion.
I've heard that, and I'm doing that next week.
They have a fantastic maple popcorn. I've had it before. It's so freaking good. So that's in, like I said, the Canada Pavilion. And I think, honestly, those are the only like specialty popcorns that Disney has. You know, Tokyo has so many different flavors of specialty popcorn, but really Disney, you know, Walt Disney World, they don't have a lot of specialty flavors, which really surprises me actually. You think like at the Magic Kingdom, they'd have, you know, some unique special flavors, but really it's just butter and everywhere else too. So
they put all their energy into cupcakes.
They definitely put all their energy into cupcakes. Although I feel like that's dwindling a little bit as we speak too. Like I feel like they're not as big about that specialty cupcake. They've gotten kind of off of that. I mean, they still do have specialty cupcakes, but I don't feel like it's as popular as it once was. So I feel like they've gotten off that a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. The decade of cupcakes can, you know, they'll still have cupcakes. We just don't need one for like every, you know, day.
Exactly. Oh, they bring up the caramel couche as well in the Germany pavilion. But see, I don't necessarily, I know this is going to sound bad. I don't necessarily count that because you're not getting it from like a cart. So I know it's still good popcorn, but in my brain, it doesn't count the same because you're not getting it from a snack cart. I don't know. It's weird. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, let's get to, we had some feedback from one of our listeners here. I just lost it because I was trying to find that comment, and it's from Angie Wright. She says, hey guys, we had the best Disney magic on our anniversary trip last week. We got upgraded from, check this out, Pop Century.
Nice.
To Boardwalk.
That's awesome.
Holy cow, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
And Ricky was right. The grilled chicken at Epcot is amazing. Thanks
so
for
she fixed it. She meant grilled corn.
Oh, grilled corn. Okay, grilled corn, grilled chicken, all the same thing.
Yes. Okay, Angie, I'm so glad that the corn was delicious and that you enjoyed it. It is phenomenal, and it is a big ear of corn. So I'm so glad you liked it. Yeah.
Yes. And man, okay, so I'm staying at Pop Century on next Tuesday, July 6th. So Disney, I'm just saying, if you want to throw me over the Boardwalk, I mean,
I am pretty sure it's a little too late for you at this point. They contacted me for my upgrade. Well, how many weeks, Mike? How many weeks out are you?
Next Tuesday.
You're a week out. Yeah, no, they're not contacting you.
But, you know, I'm an influencer.
They contacted me. Yeah, right. They contacted me like two and a half weeks ahead of time for my. Maybe it was 3. So you're not getting upgraded. Sorry, Mike.
You never know.
Okay.
Donnie Herbert says, "What are your thoughts on FastPass with the change in My Disney Experience to standby wait time?" They've kind of changed the wording where if you look at the wait times now, it says standby wait time. And I know everybody's seen this, right? Somebody saw the FastPass machines uncovered and on.
Yeah, but I've seen other people also post FastPass machines on and uncovered earlier, like not recently, but like, you know, a few months ago. So I don't know. I don't know that there's any stock in seeing a uncovered FastPass machine. But it is interesting that they did add the standby wait time in My Disney Experience. That part does intrigue me a little bit. Again, you're going to know, where I'm going with this. Please don't bring back FastPass. But
I promise you, FastPass will be back by October 1st. Whether it's free or pay, that's
right.
Probably pay, but it will be back by October 1st.
I think you're right. I really do. I really hope they don't. But I just things move so much better without it. They've even said, like, I've even seen like people saying like Disney even knows that things move better without FastPass. So
I don't care because I can do my 3 attractions, go eat, have some snacks, and I'm good. That's all I need. I don't have to wait in any line.
Well, then you can wait in line for your 3 attractions and wait like 5 minutes instead of.
No, because I'd wait longer in those 3 attractions.
No, you're not going to wait longer.
I promise you, if I only want to do 3 attractions and I have 3 FastPasses, I'm only waiting like 10 minutes for those 3 attractions.
You're still only waiting 10 minutes for those attractions.
No, I'm not. Yes, if I go line for Space Mountain right now, it's like 50, 70 minutes. There's no
not 70 minutes.
That overall, maybe if you're doing 17 attractions, that might hold true. If you're doing 3, there's no argument. The FastPass is going to get you in and out so much faster. So,
it's not 70 minutes, by the way.
I will take pictures next week. I promise.
No, it says 70 minutes probably, but you're not waiting 70 minutes. You're going to wait probably about 40.
No more FastPass questions till it comes back. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, Crystal says, and I'm with her. Like, she's been waiting forever. She says, my 3-year-old's hair is down to the middle of his back. Still waiting for the Harmony Barbershop to reopen. Hey, no kidding. I know. I mean, there's people walking around like ZZ Top at this point, waiting to get haircuts. I mean, come on now. Let's see.
Thankfully, Brian has decided to get his haircut because, normally he goes to the Harmony Barbershop too. So at least he's gotten his since.
There you go. Okay, so we have another question over here from Julie. Rope drop strategy for Disney's Hollywood Studios. Hey, Mike, I enjoy listening to your show, and I'm getting ready for my trip to Walt Disney World this July. Maybe I'll see you.
Yay!
What is your best guess for where to head first for Rope Drop at Hollywood Studios?
Oh,
Minnie and Minnie's Runaway Railway or Slinky Dog? We are only staying in the park until early afternoon, so late night is not an option. We also plan on doing Toy Story Mania, Smuggler's Run, and Rock and Roller Coaster, but I think those can wait until later in the morning. I'm at a loss for how to best schedule my day to hit the headliners in the best order. Thanks, Julie. I say, and I think you're going to agree with me, Toy Story or Slinky Dog first. That's going to fill up, I think, quicker, and it's going to have a longer line faster than Mickey and Minnie's. Mickey and Minnie's gets people through faster.
I think Mickey and Minnie's might get people through faster, but I do think more people go to Mickey and Minnie's first because it's the first thing that they see, especially the people who don't listen to podcasts like ours. So I do think you probably will have a little bit of a lesser wait going to Slinky Dog first. For Slinky Dog, overall. But I do think that, people will start to get in line for Mickey and Minnie's, and that will bump that wait time up, especially in the beginning of the morning. So just a heads up, people are going to head to Mickey and Minnie's first. So because that's the first thing they see. So I still would probably do Slinky Dog first, though. Yeah,
I agree. And here's another thing, too, especially in July where it's hot. Okay, so you want to do the Slinky Dog because it's an all outdoor queue the whole time.
Oh gosh, yes.
And at least in Mickey and Minnie's, for half of the wait, you're going to be inside in air conditioning too. I mean, so there's something to be said for that. I mean, the temperature goes up probably 5 degrees between like a 9 and a 10 o'clock in July, and then 10 to 11, it's probably another 3, 4, 5 degrees.
That is true. And best tip for you while you're waiting in line for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, because you do stand out, and actually also Slinky Dog, although Disney has kind of rectified this a little. They've brought out their own. But I carry an umbrella with me. And I use that sucker while I'm waiting in line for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, because you really are out in the blistering sun. I mean, there's not much shade at all really for you. They might have some umbrellas, like they're spaced out really far away. So bring your own umbrella and use it to shade yourself. Trust me, I do it all the time, and it is a lifesaver. So.
Isn't it crazy too how short the waits now are for Toy Story Midway Mania?
Oh my gosh, yes.
7 or 8 years ago, I remember seeing wait times for that thing like at 3.5 hours. Like I have pictures because my Google Photos is my screensaver.
Yeah.
And I take shots, of like, oh my gosh, it's only 10 o'clock in the morning and the wait time is 180 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Standby.
And now you're like 20 minutes for Midway Mania. Yeah, it's crazy.
The evolution of things. Okay, last question of the day comes from the inbox. Speaking of rope dropping, how about this one? Rope dropping Disney Springs.
Oh,
we've never talked about that. Okay. Hey, Mike and crew, my sister and I are going to Disney Springs on the way we go. And on the day we go to the Boo Bash.
Nice.
I have a hefty must-do list for Disney Springs, including Gideon's.
Yes.
Making custom Legos for us and for my boys.
Okay.
Having a yummy lunch, making custom snacks at Goofy's.
Okay.
And getting some cute merch at Uniqlo. Uniqlo is a hidden gem.
It is a hidden gem.
Uniqlo, they have cheap Disney shirts. They have a lot of inexpensive, all kinds of stuff. I don't know that I need that stuff, but it's like, you know what it is? It's Disney Springs Old Navy is what
it is. Disney Springs Old Navy. You're not wrong. Yeah.
I went to the media event when they relaunched Disney Springs. It took us to all these stores, and I said that, and I don't think they liked it.
No, probably not. And you haven't been invited back to a media event since.
Yeah, they're like, we'll let you see the drone show tonight, but then we don't want to ever see you.
That's it. No, please don't come back.
Pretty bad. Yeah, I'm like, hey, I'm from Missouri, man. We just call it like it is. It's a really nice 2-story Old Navy. Anyway. Len actually said one time he should fly a cheap airline, not even take bags or clothes, and just go to Uniqlo, buy t-shirts. And that, I heard that on a show one time. And
that's fantastic. And then just get rid of them at the end of it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you just leave them in the room.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, we would love to check all this off the list and then still have time to rest before we head to the Magic Kingdom. Okay. So we want to rope drop Disney Springs. Do you know how soon before the shops open at 10 that the parking garage is open? Oh. And do you have any touring plan recommendations or quick service recommendations for lunch? We want to eat something yummy, but got to save room for those free Mickey bars at the Boo Bash. Thanks, Sherry. Guess what, Sherry? You're paying for the Mickey bars. No, just kidding. They're free. Once you buy the ticket, everything's free. That's the way I look at it. It's like the money's gone. I can get whatever.
Oh, I paid $160 for Mickey bars. I'm going all in on Mickey bars.
Yes, I paid for that a long time ago. That money has gone.
No, I still know that I paid $169 for all the Mickey bars I can eat.
That's why on a 7-night cruise, your payments due 150 days out. So that way it's like that money is so far long gone. Now everything just come on this cruise. We're all just going to sail to paradise.
Right.
Anyway, so I have rope dropped Disney Springs this year twice.
You did.
Yes, but I was just going for breakfast because I was staying.
And you didn't park.
I didn't park. I was across the street at the Hilton, or the bad Hilton, and I rope dropped to get in. This was back when they were doing temperature screens. You had to wait for the people with the zappers, but they let us in. I was first person in. Earl of Sandwich both days. Got my breakfast sandwich. Went back. I would imagine the parking garage is probably open 30 minutes. Would you say? I don't know. I've never driven a car to rope drop Disney Springs.
I've never gotten to Disney Springs at, opening. I would assume it would be somewhere between an hour and a half hour before. Yeah, somewhere along those lines.
I would say, 30 minutes. You'll be fine.
I would say 30 is probably, because they have to have time for you to park. They do still have, I think, the bag check, so you do have to go through bag check, and then the ability to get in to Disney Springs. So I bet they give you a little bit of time. I bet they give you more than half an hour, to be perfectly honest. I bet they do open up at least an hour ahead of time,
because the buses Megan said in the live chat, what time do the buses start to Disney Springs? I'd say they probably start an hour before Disney Springs, so 30 minutes before most people are going to be getting there.
Yeah.
Resort guess. Yeah, so I would say 30 minutes. It doesn't. You're Disney Springs. I mean, you're going to be fine because you don't have queues.
No
places and shop.
No, I mean the only queue that you're going to have is the one for Gideon's.
Right.
And you have the right plan in the sense of that you need to go to Gideon's. Please go to Gideon's first and get on the wait list, so that way you get your cookies and you're happy and you don't have to wait a really long time for your cookies. So that's going to be my first tip of the things that you should do, is to go to Gideon's and get on that wait list first thing that you get there. So
where would you go to lunch though? Because they're looking for something yummy, quote yummy, but they also don't want to be just jam stuff that they can't, hammer down 7 Mickey bars at the Boo Bash. So where are you going?
This is tough. I'm going to go counter service because I think that's probably
they're looking for quick service. Yep.
I think that's probably the best choice. Brian and I really had a great meal at Polite Pig the last time we went there. So
so good. That is so good.
I think that is going to be a suggestion that I have, or I do love Deluxe Burger.
Yeah, that was the second one. You picked both of mine. Yep.
Sorry, Mike.
That's fine. That's a solid answer if we both have the same answer, I think.
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's Earl of Sandwich as well, which is relatively reasonably priced too. So that's another great choice. I would go with one of those three, but my first inclination is going to be Polite Pig, I think. I think that's where I would go first. Yeah.
I mean, the smells are free, right?
They are.
Over there.
Yeah.
Man,
they're free.
I can smell it right now. I mean, I'm in Missouri and I can still smell the Polite Pig. It is so good.
Yes. Did she say breakfast too, or just lunch?
That was lunch. She wasn't worried about breakfast, but Earl of Sandwich, that breakfast burrito is unbelievable. It's like $6. It's like cheap McDonald's breakfast meal.
You could go to Everlaced too.
Oh yeah, those donuts.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's show. Of course, we'll be back in on Friday with another fun podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hopefully you enjoyed the last 40 minutes talking Disney. And thank you for your questions. If you have a question for the inbox, send that right away to mike@brourguestpodcast.com. Put listener question in the heading and we'll get to that right away. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for all of your trip planning needs. They can help you book a trip to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, out on the Disney Cruise Line, even Adventures by Disney. Just drop by themagicforless.com. Check out all the great specials, all the trip planning tools. Fill out the quote form while you're there, and we'll get together with you, find out some availability and pricing, and we'll get moving right along. But mention the show when you fill out the quote form so it comes right to me. Don't forget, check them out today over at themagicforless.com. We also have our Amazon affiliate link. Super easy way to support the show. It's one extra click, nothing more. You do all that online shopping that you got to do anyway. Just click through brourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our patrons for allowing us to put out this show 4 times a week here on the feed. We love doing that for you, and that's because of our patron support. So if you'd like to get the 5th show, Mike in the Midwest, every Thursday morning, just visit patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. All right, social media, Instagram and Twitter. Check me out at BeOurGuestMike. Now is the time to follow because I'm going to be tweeting and Instagramming like crazy.
Yep.
Next, 9 days when I get there next Tuesday. And of course, Be Our Guest Pod for the podcast, Instagram stuff, and at Ricky Nibs for all the breaking news from Walt Disney World. So check that out as well. Of course, Facebook and YouTube, subscribe to the show, and you can catch us when we go live for all the shows. And I'll be going live from Walt Disney World too, especially when we golf on Sunday, the 11th of July. Also, no live show this Sunday night. Of course, it is the 4th of July on Sunday, so we're not going to have a live show. I'll be out shooting off fireworks and running from other fireworks and stuff like that. We're also barbecuing and having a birthday party for my sister-in-law. So we're doing that, but we'll get back to the Sunday night live shows as soon as I get back from vacation. So we'll be back again on Friday with more fun Disney talk. But until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Man, that sounded way better, that show.
Oh, good.
Oh, my God. I'm so happy right now. Listener.
Glad I can make you happy, Mike.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Episode 1924. Except it's rattling. That's the only other thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold it steady. So
you might need to get like a little
well,
that's like cushiony.
Yeah.
Not a pillow, but like something. What would be something?
No, I don't know. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to show you, by the way. I forgot. Look what I got.
Oh, dude, that's sweet. What's that? Does it light up?
Uh-huh.
Like say you're fiddling. Ah. Where'd you get it?
Target.
Shut up.
Dude, it was so freaking hard to get this. So one of the
go there right now.
Like one of the blogs posted about it and I saw it and I'm like, well, I gotta have that. Yeah, and you can only get it online though. That's the problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like I signed up for because I'm on Target, like their app. And so like I signed up. I was like, get notified when this sucker comes on. And like I seriously tried to buy it 4 times. And every time I tried to buy it, it sold out immediately. So finally,
we are popular. I mean,
yeah, I know, right? So finally, the last time I tried to buy it, it was like a Saturday night, and I was like, okay, a lot of people are not paying attention right now. So I logged in immediately and got it, and it worked out. And I was like, yes, got it. I literally tried to buy this stupid thing 5 times. Like, it's not a joke.
I want to get one of those. And
so
everybody got to see my dirty basement.
That's all right.
I forgot to drop over.
No, you're fine. So yeah, so you have to log into the Target app, and then it's called. I know you probably don't have the Target app because you're a guy, but
I get my Coke Zeros brought out to my Jeep.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. You probably do. So it is.
That's the greatest thing ever to come out of COVID is that like I don't have to go in Target. I just pick what I want. I pull on the spot. I push the button, and they bring out Coke Zeros and put them in my trunk.
There you go. Okay, so it's available. It's available, Mike.
Is it?
It's the Disney Princess X Pop Sugar Bell BR Guest Neon Desktop Lamp. How
much is it?
It's $24.99.
Okay, I'll talk to Pam about it after the show. That is pretty sweet. That's pretty awesome.
That's it, and it's actually available right now. I mean,
I'll tell Pam
when it says add to cart, it's available.
Okay, I'll if it's still available tonight, that means it's meant to be. I'm not buying it right now because
yeah. So just letting you know that it is there. So yeah, and it's only available shipping, or you can pick it up in store, but they don't have it in the store. So
sure, maybe they have it at my store.
I mean, it says not sold in stores, so I'm gonna guess no.
Well, why would it say? Oh, Teresa Sheingold just tweeted me more good news at CSR. I bet you she. What's it say?
Well, it can't be Maya Grill.
Nope, it's Laguna Bar. They have chips and nachos and pork carnita nachos, chicken nachos, Oreo cake.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
Cucumber jalapeno margarita. Oh, they have a drink called Everything Hurts.
That seems right for you.
That everything does hurt after I run. Laguna Nights. We're gonna have to go there. I love that little bar. It's just
that's good.
Oh wait, was that today? Maybe that wasn't today. When was that? That was April 30th. Oh, she said more good news at CSR. So forget all that other stuff. But I think she's probably at Maya Grill. I bet.
Probably. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because they Disney Food Blog showed like a margarita flight and some chips and guac the other night. I was like licking my phone. Like knock it off.
And I did see they had the performer back. Yes.
Scott and I have in our Google Photos the Smooth Jazz Coronado guy. And if you type that into Google Photos, all of our pictures with him come up because we get our picture taken with him every time we eat there.
So stupid.
We've probably got 20 pictures with him.
So stupid. Oh my
gosh. Tip your Smooth Jazz guy. Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, let's do the show. We're going to talk about uncommon patriotic places, but we'll hit the news first. Kind of just highlights because we talked about it on Sunday night, and that'll come.
Pull that up too. Okay.
All right, here we go. Welcome to episode 1926 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior and most patriotic agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Yes, this is the most patriotic Friday of the year because we are headed into the 4th of July weekend. And to all of our international listeners, this is our weekend. This is where we celebrate our freedom here in the United States of America, and we shoot off fireworks, we barbecue, and we eat good stuff. A lot of ice cream this weekend. We talked about ice cream.
Yeah.
Get it on this weekend. Ice cream all around. Doesn't matter what kind. We actually make a pie. My wife, I say we. My wife.
Yeah, don't lie.
She makes this peanut butter pie.
Ooh.
It's got like peanut butter, and it goes in the freezer, and it's got whipped cream on top, and it's red, white, and blue kind of thing. Of course, it's got like black for the pie crust, but oh, it's so good. And we only have that on the 4th of July. So I'm already 48 hours waiting for that. So
Nice.
Hope you're ready for a great holiday weekend. But today we're going to talk about uncommon places where we find patriotism at Walt Disney World. We're also going to hit some of the news that was announced last week because I haven't talked about it with Ricky, and she's here from themouseforless.com. What's up, Ricky?
Hi, I am ready to celebrate a fantastic 4th of July weekend. So got big plans and lots of fireworks and lots of fun and lots of food. So it's going to be a good weekend.
It
Yeah.
is. So you know where I live, right? Because where we used to live, we grew up in St. Louis County, right?
Right.
Okay, so fireworks were illegal in St. Louis County.
Correct.
Still are, always were when we grew up. Did we shoot off fireworks? Yeah, we did.
Yes, of course.
You know, cops can't get everybody, right? But the thing was, you had to go over to St. Charles County to get your fireworks because it was not allowed to be sold in our county, and it was right across the Missouri River. Well, I have now moved into said St. Charles County where fireworks stands are in every corner. There's one right across the street from our subdivision. There's like three up. There's two actually across the street from my subdivision. They're everywhere, and we can shoot them off here. And you know, it was always like you always wanted to live in St. Charles County when you're a kid, and it took me to be 46 to get to where I can, I'm excited. Like I get to shoot them off and have a good time, but now it's dangerous because it's my house. Like when I was a kid, I didn't care. It was like everybody else. I don't want my house getting, hit with a Roman candle, but we'll see how it goes Sunday.
I mean, it'll be a lot of fun, I'm sure. So you'll have it all ready and it'll be a good time. You're buying fireworks, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. My brother-in-law, actually, he's coming up. We're having, my sister-in-law is having her birthday party because her birthday's this weekend too. And so we always celebrate it on the 4th. So we're going to grill and have everybody over on the deck. We're going to throw, bags and stuff and all that stuff in the backyard. But my brother-in-law, he's crazy. He's kind of like me. Like we kind of fight between being the funkle of all the nephews and nieces, right? We try to be the fun uncle. And so he apparently has a friend who owns a fireworks stand. And so he got the hookup. And so he texted me when we were down at Silver Dollar City. I just got a text. He said, I just bought enough fireworks to blow up your entire neighborhood. So so I'm just saying, you better be following me on Instagram Live for Sunday night because it's going to be wild. I'm just saying.
I'm sure it is. So
what about Georgia? What's your status down there? Can you guys shoot off fireworks? I'd imagine so. No?
So there are fireworks buildings that are there all year. So
yeah, right. I mean, yeah, especially if you drive through like Tennessee, you see that one like that. I think it's called like Alabama, Tennessee fireworks, like in a gas station. There's a Taco Bell there. I used to stop at that Taco Bell all the time.
Yeah, we have fireworks stands. Like, I mean, Mike fell. We have fireworks stands literally like on the road and like near the road that we live on. So I mean seriously, and they're there all the time. I mean, it is a dedicated building to fireworks. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, yeah, it's legit there all the time. So yeah. We
just have tents.
And no tents. No, air conditioned building.
Oh, yeah, yours are like tourist destinations. Yeah. They're crazy. I know because we used to pass all those when we drove down. Okay, anyway, so let's hop in. We're going to kind of do a 2-part show here. I want to get your feedback on the announcements from last week. We talked about those on the Sunday Night Live call-in show. Had so many calls, had great conversations. Scott was on with me. We talked about the Disney's Enchantment coming to Magic Kingdom, a new fireworks show October 1st, same night that Harmonious is fun. We kind of knew this. We've all known this, but it's going to debut October 1st at the studio.
What? This is brand new information.
We're going to get Ratatouille on that day. Also, we're going to get a kite show. Was it Kite Monius? Is that
no? It's
What's it called? I
I feel
forgot.
like it should be Kite-monious because, I mean, it feels like they're basically taking the kites that they had for
Catastrophe? What's it called? I can't remember.
it is called Kite Tails,
Kite
or
tails. Yeah, like
which
duck.
is also a really dumb name. I don't know. Like Disney Kite Tails is what it's called.
When I
So
was a kid, I only got the cheap kites, and you did have to put a tail on it. I always wanted like the Delta wing ones, the
yeah.
triangle. No, I got the one that like Ben Franklin flew, and you had to put a tail
Yes.
on it or else it wouldn't say. Anyway, so when you heard those announcements, because we got the feedback from our listeners on Sunday night, you probably heard the replay yesterday on the feed on the Thursday. But what were you excited about when it came to that all that news that got dropped all at once?
So honestly, I think the thing that surprised me the most was the Kite Tails thing, because I wasn't really expecting, Animal Kingdom to get that at all. Like it hadn't been in my radar at all. So I'm really, really surprised that they're doing this. Now it looks like they're going to be doing it from, like they're going to do it several times a day. And I guess they're probably going to load the theater and then do it as like actual shows instead of kind of what I was thinking originally when it was announced was that it was kind of going to be like the flotillas that they have right now, which are random and, they just kind of happen. But it seems like this is going to be an actual show where they load the theater and then, have the guests leave, after the show is over. So that really intrigues me, that they're going to have like this kind of caliber show for, Animal Kingdom. I don't know. It's really surprising to me, but I'm happy that they're finding a use for that theater because goodness knows Rivers of Light just wasn't cutting it. So
we talked about this. That theater is cursed.
It is. I mean, yeah, it really is. I mean, what the Jungle Cruise show or the Jungle Book show
that was so bad.
That was so bad, and then Rivers of Light wasn't much better, and then you had the update to Rivers of Light. I mean, again, not much better. So hopefully this does something. Hopefully a daytime show like this will be successful. So this is the thing that really surprised me the most, to be perfectly honest. Not super surprised about Harmonious though. I mean, hello, if you didn't know it was coming out on October 1st, I mean, it just all the signs pointed to October 1st. I mean, let's just be perfectly honest. Right. I do think it's surprising though, in a weird way, that they are going to debut it and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure on the same day. Like, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of new stuff, big stuff for one day.
Big day though. I get it because it's such a big day.
It's a huge day, so I get it. And it's also a little weird because I mean, yes, October 1st is also Epcot's birthday too. Epcot did open on October 1st, but it's the big Walt Disney World anniversary of 50th, so like you would expect something bigger to happen at the Magic Kingdom. Of course, they are getting their own show in Disney Enchantment, which again, very weird name. I don't quite understand this name. This sounds like a cruise ship to me. Not
exactly what I said. Yes, it's the 6th cruise ship.
Exactly. And I'm like, well, dang, now they can't use Disney Enchantment for their cruise ship because it totally seemed like the name of a cruise ship. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens because, a lot of people have been saying Happily Ever After, that's just now coming back. And now they're going to debut a brand new show on October 1st. And a lot of people were like, do you think this had been in the works a long time? And they're just like, okay, well, this is for the 50th. And I said, yeah, I think that this probably has been in the works for a while. And they were planning on debuting it for the 50th. And it just so happened that, COVID hit and it stopped the fireworks for a while. And I obviously, I think that that's, yes, it's sad that Happily Ever After is only going to run for a short period of time. And then they're going to bring in this new show. But I think it's going to be an exciting show. They're going to, obviously it's really cool that they're going to do it all the way, have projections all the way down Main Street USA like they do in Disneyland.
And I think that is one of the greatest parts about this new show is that it's, we're in this area where, this new era, post-COVID era where, while social distancing is kind of being phased out, when you think about, because we were there for the 40th, right? For the 40th celebration of the Magic Kingdom. I mean, we're in there just jammed like sardines.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we're going to be there the same way on October 1st. Don't get me wrong, it'll probably be worse.
Yes.
But with a show like this, you wanted to see the projections at the castle, which meant you really needed a spot in the hub. But if you have projections on Main Street USA, it makes the area to see the show, it expands it all the way down Main Street USA, which opens up a whole lot more real estate, which lets people spread out just a little bit more.
Absolutely. I think that's key is that I feel like with the projections going all the way down Main Street, it is going to open things up because the projections were so, if you were further down on Main Street, they were so hard to see, to be perfectly honest. So you're like, what is that? I can't make it out. So I am really glad to see that they're going to utilize this technology. And it will be interesting to see. I have a feeling Happily Ever After is going to come back after.
Yeah, I think this will be like a a special engagement.
It'll be like the 18 months, and then it'll be over, and they'll bring back Happily Ever After. And my hope is that when they bring back Happily Ever After, they will then use the projection effects down Main Street to enhance Happily Ever After too. Of like, ta-da, we've made it even better, So I am happy about that too, and that'll be interesting to find out if they end up. But I think Happily Ever After is coming back. So
I agree. I think they'll update the movies too by then because they'll have a good break to kind of update well, then you have to mess with the score though. I don't know because
I don't know. That's a good question. So
yeah, we'll see.
And then of course we have the cavalcade, which duh. I mean, if you didn't see that there was going to be a special 50th anniversary cavalcade, who wants to bet it's that stupid Cinderella Castle float?
I don't mind that float. I kind of like that float. I've seen a lot of races. It's always backstage.
I bet it's that float that they've had, for pretty much. I think it's been 50 years.
No, it's probably 45. No, it's only been like 10.
No, it's been a long time.
They've had that float. I like it.
They've had that float for a long time. So, but that's interesting. And then you've got, of course, the character sculptures, which there are going to be 50 of them throughout the 4 theme parks. So that will be, a nice bonus touch too. And like I said, you have Rummy's Ratatouille Adventure that's coming out, and then you have the Beacons of Magic, which will also kind of enhance the nighttime shows because you're going to have it debuting on the 1st, and you're going to have the icons, the glow, Cinderella Castle, obviously Fireflies on the Tree of Life. Hey, this is something that's actually happening at Hollywood Studios. They're going to have the Hollywood Tower of Terror, have the Beacon of Light, or Beacon of Magic.
These beacons of light are what they're showing in the first commercial, right? When you see the commercial for the 50th, this is what they're featuring. Is icons being lit up. But I mean, when I saw the commercial, I was underwhelmed because I said, I saw the Tower of Terror like that at Christmas, because it was projection, and you can't tell in a commercial. I mean, these are going to, I think, be physical lights on because they are in Spaceship Earth.
Well, on Spaceship Earth, they are.
I don't know if they're all getting physical lights, but I mean, it's probably going to be projection, which is I've seen that. It's not cool, it's amazing, but it's like it's not new necessarily.
I agree with you. Actually, from what they're describing, it doesn't sound like it's going to be new. Like new technology. It sounds like it's going to be exactly like you said, kind of what we've seen with projections in the past. I mean, obviously, Animal Kingdom, they've had magical fireflies on
right. Yeah, I mean,
the Tree of Life for
the Awakening. Yeah,
exactly, forever. So. I'm not like 100% sold. It's cool.
I'm not saying it's not cool, but it's not brand new, and they're going to have all these new things. But I mean, I guess the average guest, they're not going for us in that commercial. The average guest, that is kind of pretty cool, right? I mean, they've never seen that probably. They've probably never seen projections on the Tree of Life. It's neat.
True, exactly. So, I mean, it's going to be a really, really cool time to be at Walt Disney World. I'm so excited that we're going to be there on the 1st. We're going to be at the Magic Kingdom on October 1st. And then I know I'll be at Epcot on the 2nd.
Same.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll all be together probably because that's how we are. So,
Right. And I'll be crying when I see my first Enchantment. Then I'll be crying the next night when I see Harmonious. I'll be like, there's 2 ways I'll be crying on the 2nd. One, because Harmonious was so awesome, or because
you missed Illuminations.
We lost Illuminations for this. I'll be crying harder. I'll be sobbing. So I'm just saying, either way, I'll be crying on the 2nd. So
one way or another, it will be happening.
Next if you see me. Yeah. Okay, so exciting announcements though, and they kind of dropped this, and it was really an exciting time because it is a momentous time. And I think we limited time magic, they probably say, everybody probably assumes an anniversary means a year. If you're not a Disney fan, if you're a Disney fan, this means a minimum of 18 months, could be 22. Correct. We don't know, but it gets us, and the thing we talked about on Sunday night too was that October 1st is right around the corner at this point.
I know.
It seemed like the 50th was like, oh, it's that date way off in the distance. We're talking less than 4 months at this point.
I know, it's kind of crazy. Like I've been dreaming about this day for 10 years. Like I said, we were at the 40th where, the hashtag Disney Anarchy got created by us because like, seriously, it was just insane mass of people. But I said when we were there at the 40th, I said, I will be here for the 50th. I said, there's no way it's not happening. And I made sure I was there for the 50th. So I did everything I could possibly do to make sure that I was there. So it's a very important date for me, you know, and all of the Disney community to try to be in the parks. And so I'm very excited and happy that we're going to get to experience it, because there's just something so, yes, it's Disney Anarchy. But there's something also so special. There's an electricity in the air on those days, you know, that you really can't put into words. So I'm super, super stoked about being there on the 1st, and getting to experience everything that, you know, Disney's going to throw at us. So.
And I am totally with Wade and totally with Aaron in the live chat that the Magic Kingdom needs a nighttime parade. And I'll say that because, and I know it causes congestion and it's a logistical thing and it's a night, whatever, because the thing is, it could be done because it was done for years and years. And when I think back over my favorite memories from the last 50, of course, I wasn't there until, you know, in the last like 15, that's where my memories come from. But my greatest memories are nights with my, you know, my wife and nights with my girls, you know, after we had spent a whole day in the parks, did some swimming back at the hotel, had some great meals, fireworks, and sitting there in Spectral Magic. That soundtrack, I mean, instant nostalgia. Main Street Electrical Parade too, but Spectral Magic especially, like the greatest memories of summer for me are just sitting down and watching a parade at night.
Okay, so here's a thought, and I haven't really thought this before. I don't think they're going to bring back a parade. I mean, I really don't for nighttime. And you know, obviously, they announced the cavalcade for the 50th, so I don't think they're bringing back a parade for the 50th as well. You know, as of right now, there's not a parade in mind. And they would have been talking about a parade right now if there had been.
I'm saying they need one. I'm not saying we're going to get one. I wish they would.
What may be interesting and would be really cool to experience and would tie into what you're talking about is, what if they did have special nighttime cavalcades for the 50th? And now that would be cool to get to experience, is, you know, nighttime cavalcades. You know, they can do it with, you know, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party floats and Mickey's, you know, Not So Scary Christmas Party, or Not So Scary Party floats. But, and I don't know if they have nighttime floats readily available at this moment. I know obviously Paint the Night is something that that would be the easiest thing to grab.
That would be awesome. I'd love to.
You know, just to bring like a few Paint the Night floats from Disneyland and bring that over to Walt Disney World and use those for the 50th as a nighttime cavalcade. I feel like that would be extremely special. I don't know if that would be something that they would do, and obviously I'm pretty sure that they won't. But darn it, Disney, that would be a great idea, and that would make so many people happy, because then you'd bring that back, that nighttime parade function that so many people crave. So yeah,
I mean, the only difference between a cavalcade and a parade is the length of the thing. And
correct. Yeah,
I think the cavalcades are great during the day, and I like your idea for at night too. But I just think the whole spectacular. And again, this is just because when I came in, my day surrounded around, you know, at night we're going to be at a park. This was even back in the, you know, I ended the day at Epcot with Illuminations and Tapestry of Nations, or Tapestry of Dreams, and it was perfect. I mean, it was perfection, because you would ride rides in the day, you would swim, you'd have breakfast, you'd have lunch, you'd do some more rides, and you'd have dinner. You might sneak in a couple rides, and then you just wound down with a parade and fireworks like nobody else could do them. Disney could only do a Spectral Magic and a Wishes, or, you know, an Illuminations and a Tapestry of Nations. It was so unparalleled. You could only get that at like one place on the planet.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. And Disney could do it again. I mean, I wouldn't mind a nighttime cavalcade, but I want the whole parade. Because I mean, we saw today, I mean, just earlier this week, Universal's bringing back parades right now. I mean, let's do it.
Yeah, I just think that
it's work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of logistics, but they're Disney. They could if they wanted to.
It is yes. I think that that's the problem, and the fact that it's so, they have to. The parks are, granted, I mean, the reservation system has helped us a little bit, but the parks have been, over the past few years, so busy, you know, before COVID, that nighttime, you know, Main Street is just packed with people. So I think that may have been part of the reason why they didn't bring back a nighttime parade. It was so jam packed. I mean, they literally had
Magic Kingdom now though. They have that back road.
they had to create the back alley for
but
that
would be
purpose.
perfect for a parade now because you have an overflow way to exit.
You do, yes. So, I mean, yes, I do think that they could do it, but logistically, I don't think that they're ready. I don't think that they.
I don't think they're ready yet, but I'm saying if they did that, I would just be whoa.
Oh, you and everybody else, well, except me.
Man,
but
I'd be so excited.
I don't care about parades most of the time. So.
I know, and it's fine, because that's a great time. If you don't like parades, you can go ride rides.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. That's perfect time. But man, I told you, like I don't. Velocicoaster, I don't need that. Like, just give me Spectre Magic. I'm at that age. I don't need my guts rattle around by a dinosaur. Anyway, okay, so let's hop into the main topic. That was fun.
Yes.
Kind of fun
Yeah. Of course.
Hopefully everybody else is, give it, like I said on Wednesday, dinner tonight. Drop this on your thing.
We're going to have a lot more conversation about the 50th too, because more and more news is going to come out about the 50th. And it's going to be such a huge event for Disney. I mean, trust me, this is not the end of 50th anniversary talk and what Disney's got coming up their sleeves. So, yeah.
Don't wear long sleeves. It'll be too hot.
I'm wearing them now. It's definitely hot. Yeah.
October 1st, no short sleeves. Anyway, so it's hard to hide things that way though. But anyway, we are going to jump in for the 4th of July. We've done many shows. This is the problem. When you've done a podcast for 13 years, we've done patriotic stuff.
We have.
Probably 12 times. So today we're going to do it a 13th. We're going to modify it slightly. So we're going to talk about the places we find patriotic, but in a weird way at Walt Disney World. Not your necessary, not necessarily your normal things that you think of. And we had, let's see, somebody in the chat earlier was posting, some of the very patriotic things at Walt Disney World. Of course, if you're going for pure patriotism, probably the most patriotic thing at Walt Disney World is the flag retreat ceremony. They're not doing it right now.
Right.
But you can see that in Town Square under normal times. Liberty Square in general, very patriotic. The American Adventure, just there's all kinds of carousel of progress in a strange way.
Yes.
But my first thing I'm going to throw out there that I find patriotic, and I'll be celebrating this on July 6th. It's the Pop Century Resort in general. And let me just tell you why. You don't think of there's not a lot of United States flags, floating, and you don't see Sam Eagle a whole lot over it. And Sam Eagle's the bomb. I love Sam Eagle. You got, we have a glorious 3-hour finale. You got 30 seconds.
You got a minute and a half.
I used to have that was my favorite thing to play on Magical Mouse Radio was that bumper at the 4th of July. When I made that one, I played it over and over because I cracked myself up that I made that bumper. It was
that's
you'll have to find that maybe and plug that in somewhere. Anyway, but Pop Century, back to Pop Century. I'm way off topic today.
Yes.
Pop Century, though, it's a celebration of pop culture. But when I think of my America, right, I grew up in, the 70s, the 80s. That was my childhood. And so many of those things, and they might not necessarily be American inventions. We were talking about this before we started recording. Like the Rubik's Cube, I'm pretty sure was not invented by an American. I think it was a German. So it was someone from the Netherlands, as I recall, was not an American. When you think of like the Nintendo, obviously Japanese. But you see all these Pac-Man, for example. Pac-Man's all over Pop Century. Not really an American invention, but it's the American pop culture. And that's what I celebrate. So when I think of, a weird way to celebrate America, when I'm at Pop Century, man, I feel super American because that's the America I grew up in. And those, like when you see a Thriller album in a shadow box or an Apple IIe or Simon, that old game where it would, you keep up and it stress you out. Those kind of things that's my America. That's what I grew up in, so Pop Century is a strange way, very patriotic to me. And I'll be there on July 6th, next Tuesday. So what do you got? What do you think is something that's kind of strangely American?
Well, you kind of stole it in a weird way. It is the Muppets. It is Muppet Vision 3D. I mean, the Muppets are in a weird way so American. So and of course you have that section at the end where they are literally celebrating all nations, but mostly America. I mean, the whole thing is super American, and patriotic to me overall. But then you throw that in there and it just goes overboard. But again, like I said, the Muppets in general are just so American to me. I mean, back when they started and the Muppet Show and everything like that, like it's just they've weaved their way into Americana and being such American icons. Kermit the Frog obviously is so well known. To me, that's just like Muppet Vision 3D is so patriotic, even without, Sam Eagle and his, salute to all nations.
He's the best.
3-hour finale. That's a minute and a half. Like, it's just, I don't know. That whole show is just distinctly patriotic to me.
Yes.
Yes.
You are not Mickey Mouse.
You are a rat. Oh, the pre-show. The pre-show is the best. I mean, ever since COVID, and I feel like a little bit before COVID, they were allowing guests to pretty much see the whole pre-show. But I feel like now with COVID, they really are, they're spacing things out so that guests.
We saw they kept us in there. We saw the whole thing in May.
Yeah. Guests really do see the whole pre-show now at this point, which is huge. I mean, there are so many great jokes in that pre-show. That pre-show is basically it's an attraction in itself.
In that one, okay, this is gonna be a hot take, but the pre-show might be better than the actual show.
I agree with you.
I mean, they're almost equals.
I 100% agree with you because I'm not like super in love with Waldo. Like, I can take or leave Waldo.
I like Waldo. You're right. He's weird, and he's
weird. Yes.
No,
the whole rest of the show is great to me. Waldo's a little unusual and off, but that's okay. But yes, if you add in like the pre-show by itself and just watch the pre-show, it is hysterically funny. And I mean, it is definitely an attraction in itself. And if you have never seen the entire Muppets pre-show, please go watch it. It's hysterical. So Chuck.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I laugh every time that joke comes on.
It's so stupid.
That is stupid.
Yeah, my goal in life is when I'm older, Scott and I'll just be Statler and Waldorf.
Absolutely.
I mean, we pretty much are already, so it doesn't really matter. Yes. Okay, so the next thing I have on my list, and Tom actually in the live chat mentioned the Walt Disney World Railroad. Absolutely, that is so American. That is, I love trains. Mm-hmm. Okay, but the other thing I'm going to say is just Hollywood Boulevard and Disney's Hollywood Studios in the whole Hollywood Boulevard, and even I guess you could say Sunset because it's kind of all Hollywood. But when you think about that, there's Bollywood, I guess, in India. I'm not into that kind of movies. I'm not into that scene. I've never been to India, but Hollywood is distinctly American because I think when the other parts of the world think of the United States of America, they probably think of, the golden age of Hollywood, the old talkies. And I just love when you're walking down Hollywood Boulevard, you have a 5 and 10. Right. And you're younger than me, but I do remember places like Woolworths. You probably don't.
No,
you're younger. But the thing is, like, that is where I grew up. Right. And I didn't grow up like in the 40s and 50s, but the thing was, my grandparents did. And they told me all those stories about, the glitz and the glamour. And those were their movies and those were their movie stars. And I just think, especially at night on Hollywood Boulevard, when you see the neon pop out and, if you're anybody that's into like classic movies, I mean, that's distinctly American. Like we really kind of started all that and that belongs to us. So in a strange way, Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset kind of in a lesser sense is, that's very American, very patriotic.
I absolutely agree with that. I think, I never really thought about it until you mentioned it, but it is extremely patriotic and American and you're not going to get that, Hollywood that never was anywhere else. And so there's definitely something, and especially like around Christmas when they start bringing out those unusually ungodly, weird, children that just
or those ceramic, what are they called? Those spaghetti noodle poodles or something?
Yes.
My grandma had them.
Exactly. Like it gets even more American at the holidays. I mean, really seriously, you've got the tinsel of Tinseltown, on the street lamps and everything. Like, it just screams 1950s Christmas, which just screams American to me. I don't know why.
And the music, right? The music is so it's not your like, John Philip Sousa, it's not our merch, but this is our music. It's a lot of jazz and jazz.
Yeah, it's true.
Jazz is an American invention.
No, that's absolutely true. Yeah. And if you want to learn more about jazz, I'm going to totally tie this in. It's not part of what I was going to talk about, but they do have a fantastic exhibit in the American Adventure Pavilion right now. It's all about, I think it's called The Soul of Jazz. It's themed after the movie Soul. And it talks a little bit, they have Joe Gardner, who's the main character. And he kind of like explains a little bit about jazz music in various different places around mostly America. Well, I mean, all of America. So that's kind of the cool thing. They take a look at how jazz has really evolved throughout the years, as well as how it's evolved throughout different sections of our country. So that's kind of a cool thing too. If you haven't stopped, the exhibit is in the main room, so it's pretty easy to see. But you know, if you haven't stopped and looked at it, it's really cool. And they do have some really neat artifacts as well of things that you know, like I think there's a trumpet from Louis Armstrong and stuff like that.
I love Louis. My favorite all-time song, "What a Wonderful World."
Yes,
One
yes.
top favorite song ever. That's
So, and then there's another exhibit as well in the American Adventure Pavilion. I believe it's still themed around Native American artwork, which is another really great. If you haven't looked at that exhibit, please do. It's a very fantastic exhibit that they have, and that one's it's a little bit harder to know that it exists because it is in its own separate room. But it's a really, really cool exhibit that you really should make sure that you see. So, but that wasn't where I was going to go.
Okay, then go.
Where I'm going to go is something that I think a lot of people are going to hate. And that is actually Dinoland USA. I mean, it's got USA right in the title right there. But it really is themed around, you know, that old, you know, drive-in, you know, to your destination, roadside attraction themed area. It hits it extremely hard and very realistic, which is why I think a lot of people don't like it, because it does feel a little kitschy and a little tacky if you want to go there. But it really is like that old roadside attraction of America, of, you know, driving Route 66 type thing. Like, that's really what it was about. So, you know, and, you know, look, I know, you know, like, I really want to win one of those stupid, you know, dinosaurs that they have now. Like, they brought out some really great prizes for their games. Like, normally,
suckers, you got to be
exactly.
Good.
Games are for suckers. I normally wouldn't want to play a game, but I really want one of these dinosaurs or the Mickey that's themed after Dinoland USA. So I think that those are really cool, and I'm a sucker. So, you know, I think it's really awesome. They have the shop there that's really cool too. Go and explore the shops that they have. They are all decked out, very Americana. You've got, of course, Restaurantosaurus that's there too, which is, you know, and a couple of other restaurants that are themed on like Airstream trailers and stuff like that. It's very Americana. You know, just maybe not everybody's favorite, you know, place to visit at Disney's Animal Kingdom. But if you really look at it at its face value, it is extremely Americana. So,
well, I mean, dinosaurs were only in the United States, so
yeah, of course, that's the only place the dinosaurs are.
It's weird, like they did not go across the 49.
No, they didn't go anywhere else. They're just here in the USA. Yeah, that's it.
Well, you're right. I mean, especially if you're like in the Midwest or the Southwest, you know, you mentioned it, the Route 66, you know, because I don't think Europe doesn't have like the road trip tradition that we have,
right,
or Australia or Japan. Like that's kind of our jam as Americans. And you, especially like I drove down to Silver Dollar City and I saw there's some place like halfway to Silver Dollar City from St. Louis. It's like south of Rolla on Interstate 44. It's like a UFO kind of like little mini theme park. I mean, it's like a Dino Land USA. And then there's a big candy store. It's crazy. You see the road signs forever till you get to it. Yeah, that stuff happens. All of our international listeners are like, it doesn't. Yeah, it does.
No, it really does. It really does happen. So it is 100% Americana, even if you don't like it.
I think my last one, I know it's we should have stopped at the UFO place, and of course there's like Elvis museums all the way.
Oh, of course, yeah,
because he's there. Yeah. Anyway, he's just older, but he's there.
Right, he's totally there, yeah.
And he's distinctly American. But the last thing I have is just the boardwalk area in general, right? I mean, I don't think that. While they may have, you know, places around the world may have, you know, wooden places to walk on, I think the idea of the boardwalk and the funnel cake there and the ice cream and the pizza window, you know, I think that is kind of an American East Coast, Eastern Seaboard kind of, it's not just necessarily on the East Coast. I know they have them in like Long Beach in California, but the boardwalk, it's not just the wooden walkway itself. It's the culture of the boardwalk, right? Where you get all the carnival foods, the carnival games, the, you know, live musicians, live magicians, you know, entertainers, all that stuff. The environment of being there on a summer night. I think that's another place that feels very American, but also kind of specific to a part of America.
No, absolutely. You are 100% right. You know, the boardwalk was actually something that I was thinking about, to be perfectly honest. And especially now, you know, they have updated the pool. So it's not the creepy clown anymore. So that's a little, you know, a little better.
coaster. That's
it's
a
the
good thing.
Keister coaster, and it's themed after Mickey Mouse and the newer cartoons. So that makes it a little bit better. But I was thinking about the boardwalk and how Americana that section is. Now, of course, the creepy doll chairs that are in the lobby are not something that you should, seek out. But I know people do.
That's American. I mean, it's like an American Horror Story, right?
Exactly. That is totally American Horror Story. Don't. Yeah, but I definitely think that you were right on the money with that. So that's a good choice. It's a good choice.
So you have any last thoughts as we close this out with uniquely American things?
I do. So my last one is kind of it's gonna tie into what we talked about last Friday, and then it's gonna go into what we were talking about with hotels. But I feel like beaches and cream.
Oh, yes, it is. Amen.
Is such an Americana experience. Really going there and getting a hamburger. I mean, it's got to be. You can do a chili cheese dog too, but you got to get either the hamburger or chili cheese dog to be super American. And then you've got the onion rings. I mean, again, you got to do onion rings. There's just something special. They do have really good tater tots. Not gonna lie,
tater tots are always the right answer. I've had tater tots like 4 or 5 meals in the last week. So.
Tater tots are a solid choice. Just saying. And then of course you bring in the ice cream, and they have obviously they have the kitchen sink, which they are very famous for. Anytime you bring in just a vat of ice cream, basically. I mean, I feel like it's like the hot dog eating contest, that they have on the 4th of July. I feel like there should be an ice cream eating contest, and this would be.
If Joey Chestnut shows up to sit next to you, you're in trouble.
You're definitely in trouble. Yeah. I'm surprised there's not an ice cream eating contest for the 4th of July too. I think people would throw up, but if they had to eat an entire
it could kill you, brain freeze.
Oh, absolutely.
Do it, yeah.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you get that, or of course, my favorite, the No Way Jose, which is just so amazing. You can't have anything better than chocolate and peanut butter. There's nothing more American to me than that. So, No Way Jose, of course, you got a banana split as an option too. But you have to get ice cream. It's distinctly unpatriotic again if you're not getting ice cream. And I'm just saying, beaches and cream is 100% just all American. And I feel like if you're not going there and celebrating America, you're doing yourself a disservice.
There's a lot of other places we didn't hit. Like Alfred says 50s primetime. Totally agree with that.
Yes.
Says Casey's. That's 100% correct.
Yes.
But Tammy's dropping the bomb here. Why does Beaches and Cream not have apple pie? Apple pie and Chevrolet, right? Baseball and Chevrolet.
Apple pie ice cream,
or apple pie ice cream.
That would be really good. Or, an apple pie a la mode. Or, what if they took their
that'd be
what
good.
What if they took a piece of apple pie, put it in one of their little bowls, then put ice cream on top, and then put drizzled caramel sauce on top, and then whipped cream? That is a fantastic ice cream sundae. I'm just saying, this needs to happen. Disney, I am giving you ideas. Please take this one. I really put this one on the menu at Beaches and Cream. I'm just saying, it would be fantastic. Some sort of apple crisp. Maybe you don't even have to do apple pie, but an apple, crumble crisp type thing on the bottom. Yeah. Just go with that. That would be amazing.
So it's not happening this weekend at Walt Disney World because it's already Friday, but you are free to use that idea at your cookout this weekend.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, hopefully we got to share some time here, 40 minutes, got to talk Disney. Maybe we shared some smiles, some laughs, and got you thinking about your favorite place. That's always the goal of this show. But again, we love our country. Thank you to everybody who has served. I know it's not Veterans Day or Memorial Day or any of that, but every day we need to celebrate our folks who have served in the military because you're what makes our country great. And all those first line responders, our police, our firemen, our paramedics, doctors, especially this past year, nurses, everybody who's kept us safe. Thank you so much for making our country what it is. And happy birthday, USA.
Well said, Mike. Well said.
I'm like a human Sam Eagle. I try to think of myself.
You are like a human Sam Eagle.
I'm not as blue, but I try to be.
No, you're not.
He's the jam.
You don't have wings either. So.
That's true. But I've never seen him fly either.
No. I can't say he'd probably be a good flyer. No.
Probably good, but I'm just saying. Anyway, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out. They'd love to help you with your next Disney vacation over at themagicforless.com. Please use our Amazon affiliate link anytime you shop online. It really does help. Remember, capitalism is a great thing because everybody's trying to get money from us.
America.
So we need a little help too, because that's just how it all works. Be Live, they're always, they're like, we love your show, but it's not free to host. Podbean, same thing. Like, okay, whatever. It's just how this country works. It's great anyway. So beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our patrons. You guys allow us to do all this fun Disney talk 3 or 4 times a week. We sure appreciate it. If you'd like an extra podcast, it is I got to admit, Mike in the Midwest, a very patriotic look at my life growing up here in the middle of the United States. If you'd like to get in on that, just visit patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Again, follow immediately Mike at @BeOurGuestMike. I forgot my handle.
What's my handle?
It's not my email address. It's @BeOurGuestMike on Twitter and Instagram. I'm telling you, you want to follow this weekend because we're going to be shooting off some fireworks here. And then, of course, immediately heading down to Walt Disney World on Tuesday, where I'll be reporting everything that's happening down there. Of course, @BeOurGuestPod and @RickyNibs for Ricky. And Facebook and YouTube, subscribe so you know when we go live. And don't forget, no live show this Sunday because we will be having fun celebrating the 4th of July here at the house.
Yes.
All right. We'll be back again on Monday with a great trip report. It's going to be a fun one. I've already recorded it. You're going to like it. It's going to put a smile on your face. I promise you. I had a great time talking to our guest on Monday. So until we get together on Monday, for Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a very safe and happy 4th of July. Happy birthday, USA. And we'll see you real soon. Oh my gosh, I just remembered I got to put the song on the 4th of July show that I always do. I almost forgot about that till just now.
Well, good for you.
Oh my God, I'd have forgotten and I'd have remembered it like at 3:12 in the morning. And like, I got to re-edit that show.
That's good. Dude, that was a good one.
It was a good one. And it sounds so good. I'm so pumped about that.
I loved it. Like I was, I was sitting here thinking, okay, how are we going to do this when we first started it? But then like, as we got going, I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
We are good at making stuff up on the fly.
We are awesome at making stuff up. Yes, we are.
I'm just saying, like I'm telling you, do it 2,000. I think, some wise man said, if you do anything 2,000 times, you become a master. And we're not a master, but we've done it 2,000 times.
It's crazy. This was a lot of fun. I had fun today. Yeah,
it was fun. And now we just, as long as we get the mic sounds so good, now just make sure it doesn't move around. You got to keep it solid, like tape or something. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll have to figure something out.
USA, there it is.
I'll figure something out.
All right. Yeah. Well, I will talk to you sometime this week. I'll text you.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
See you, everybody. Thanks, Tom.
See you later.
Happy 4th of July. Boom, boom, boom. Fireworks. Oh, just like they do on the cruise line. How do they do that? They did something with their hands. Wishes. Anyway. See ya.
Okay.
That was
dumb. Bye.
Watch this. I'm going to disappear.